Alright. Alright, YouTube, back again. We're going to go ahead and do a market analysis review for you guys for the London session. We're going to plot out some levels for tonight's trading, and again, we will post a video after the trading session tonight to see how those levels held up. Now we're going to go over S&P 500 here just a little bit. We got a longer term chart here to see the bigger picture. If I zoom out of here, you guys can see we're in a pretty strong uptrend to the upside. So we had a little bit of support, pressed up. We gradually came back down, pulled all the way back to close to about 3,300, and then we made our move right back up. So we had some levels for yesterday's session, but we are above those levels. We came right back to the exact levels we wanted to. So right around 33.20, a little bit below 33.20 is where we held that support, and we moved our way back up. So we have upside movement. We're above 47, and right now looks like we're at 33.61.75. So more than likely we may target the 78.50 to about 80 to 83 on the upside of this S&P 500 move. I wouldn't really trade anything unless you can get a pullback. You guys can see we have a little bit of a trend line here. If we hold that trend line for support as it pulls back, then again we're gonna probably see a motion or a move back up into 80 to 83. So on S&P, not too much really. Waiting for that pullback to come in. First level of a buy a dip opportunity for me would probably be between I would say maybe 47 to maybe about 41 to 42 is the area that I've been looking for some rotation opportunities. So this is a 10 tick. We're going to go show you guys a smaller term chart too, so you guys can see some ideas. But as of right now, this would be my first area of support between 40.50 to 47 even. And then down below, you're going to have another strong level of support coming in between 1875 to about 27. That's kind of where my zone is going to be. A little bit of a wider zone, but I'm just going to kind of wait till the market gets back into that level and see if we have an opportunity of trade on that one. Let's take a look at a smaller term chart, see if we can get some better ideas of smaller movement. So S&P 500, again, back at about 62. Got some things charted out here, some objective levels we're looking for. So if we do pull back again, I'm looking for a gradual pullback at the top side of about 49.75 to 50 on this smaller range bar chart. We can see it's a closer view. 10 ticks really going to be for our longer term moves and our bigger picture to see some major levels of supports and resistances. These 4 ticks are usually where we take some trades. So if I'm going to point out anything, we're actually going to look for the market to gradually climb into 2 levels. So let's zoom this in. Probably, if anybody likes to fade, this would be the opportunity to fade this back down. Target levels are going to be right here. You can see some struggle right there. And then strong struggle is actually going to be right in here at about 49 to 50. So some support there. And if not, you guys see we highlighted another level coming right in here. We're looking for stall outs between these areas. So ideally, if I scroll this over to the right, what I want to see if I'm looking to fade is I would fade this area, maybe a little bit of a pullback slightly below this level here, and then fade that back down into this area 56. Now if we get some bounce of support, then this may potentially be an opportunity to go long again, but you have to let that level confirm right here. If you don't get those rotations, or if they look like they're weak on the way back down, then I would wait for that thing to collapse back down into this area. Now if you get the collapse back into 49.75, definitely want to see some strong rotations of support here. If we can get that strong rotations of support, ideally we're going to try to move that thing back up into this area right here, and then try to target that upside of about 64 again, and then maybe above that into 68 to 70, and then 78 to 80 to the upside. So that's what we're looking at on the long-term move. But again, you can see this, even if we don't get the support here at 49.75, you could potentially actually see a collapse back below and then hold of support right here at 44. So we don't necessarily just trade off these levels as they come in. What we're looking for is for the market to come down to the levels, and with the price action create that level of support. So again, if you don't get the levels, or if you don't get the rotations of support here holding 49.75, then you're going to look for a little bit more of a collapse. If you can't get it at 44, then again you're going to look for more of a collapse here into about between 34 to 35 for some support rotations, and then look from there. All right, so you can see there's different opportunities you can have. You can even look to try to continue a fade if you get it down in here and the rotations are real weak. You can try to continue the fade as long as it doesn't break up above this level. But I would say it's S&P 500 is going to be a little bit more risky to try to fade that thing against that strong momentum to the upside. So I would wait, like the professionals usually are going to be waiting for buy dip opportunities to continue in the uptrend. That's what I would wait for as well. I would wait for those opportunities to give you rotations for support and then continue that in the uptrend. Or for long opportunities of buy a dip into the uptrend. So we'll leave those levels. That's what we're looking for right now. I wouldn't really see much of trade opportunities. If I'm going to draw anything, I'll just continue with that trend line that we had before. Looks something like this. We had a little bit of a collapse, so up, down, up, down, up, down, getting a little bit weaker. Probably going to see it collapse below this level, test that level again. If you can't break back up, then we're going to get that collapse back down. So that's what we're waiting for right now. Let's move over into our gold charts here real quick. Give you guys a little bit of an idea on what you're looking for on gold here. So guys, we're coming into a strong level of support. We had some levels yesterday. This is right around the same levels. Just a little bit of a deeper pullback for tonight's session. We're looking for it to come in between 70 to 68 is our level of support on this 10 tick. If I were to extend this rectangle to the left hand side, you guys will be able to see that that was once support here, showing resistance in these areas right there. And then another opportunity of support here. So we're actually waiting for this thing to collapse back down. If we can get it right in here, you're going to see some opportunities for trade there. If I were to put up the studies here, unhide these studies. I'll show you guys on a 4 tick actually, because I don't have them up here on a 10 tick. But waiting for some rotation. So letting the market collapse into this level. Excuse me. And we're looking for some rotations here with some support. If we can get those rotations with support, then we're going to look for a long opportunity back to the upside, at least into this mid level here. Its first target of exit would be right around 74 to 75, and if we can push above that, we'll leave some runners back up into 80. So that's what we're looking at right now. Again, if you're in a range of motion, which we are here on gold, you guys see that wide range. Usually you're not going to see much professional traders trading in the middle of the range. You're actually going to see most of the people don't really know what they're doing, trading right in the middle, trying to capture some smaller moves here. There's opportunity, not saying you can't do that, just saying if you really want good opportunities of trade, you're looking to buy low, right? So buy low, get some rotations here on support areas, and then move that back up into the middle, and then as high as the top. And if you can't break above the top in this range, then you want to sell high right at that resistance area, right? Which is going to be our battle zone for short opportunities, and we'll play that range that way. So we're not trying to get anything in between. Really going to give us some confusion if we try to do that. And it's gonna, these are the type of trades, if you do in between moves, those are the ones that really move you around in your seat. You just kind of have to wait it through or wait it out, unless you exit the trade with some type of quick profit or something. But usually you have to wait that out with the markets moving up, down, up, down, up, down. So let's take a look at a closer view on this one for gold. You guys can see we had a slight bounce off that what is this, maybe, let me see if I can pop that up for you guys. Closer view on this one here, slight bounce off of 70.4. Again, we're at 71.7 right now. I'm thinking this is going to gradually pull down, so we'll let it come down into this area. Again, 70 to about 68.8 is going to be our target area for some long opportunities. Again, guys, buy low, sell high. That's kind of how we want to play it. This is going to be a good opportunity of trade, so we're going to probably try to trade that. If we can get down into that area during the London session, we're going to probably try to trade that opportunity there for longs. All right, so I'm thinking here, pull down into this level. If we get anything like this, rotations, definitely going to get that long opportunity. You can look for two ways of trading this. You can look for maybe about 2 to 3 rotations along that back into 75 and above that 78, or you can look for something like this. Here, let me take this off. I would like to look for, when you get a strong move back down into a strong level of support, I like to look for what I call a 2-try failure. All right, so what that looks like is markets come back down into this level, pull back up, right? Try it again, pull back up, right? And so you get 1, 2 failure, or you can look for the third one. The third one's going to be a little bit higher, right? And then you're going to shoot for that upside from that level. So you're going to see something like that with gradual higher lows, and then opportunity to shoot that back up, right? So if you look at the studies, unhide these studies, what really confirms that type of opportunity is a slight moving average, right? So you can use something like this, right? The market comes into this level, and by the time it comes in for 1, 2 opportunities, the moving average should be underneath. Third one should hold that moving average, and then a push back up, right? So that's the opportunity that we're looking for right now. Well, actually during the London session, if we can get the market back into this level, that's the areas that we're looking to trade for it. Some high probability trade opportunities right in there. If you zoom out of this chart, you guys can see really, really thin volume coming in on gold, right? So you could probably get a pull. Look at that long volume node coming in at 68 even, right at the bottom. So very thin volume coming in this area. So 70, 69, 68, those are going to be your opportunities of trade right there. If you want to be conservative, look for 68, 68.5. You want to kind of be in the middle, 69, 69.5. You want to be on the high side, look at about 70. I would say spread out your lots. Don't try to take everything all at one time. And that should be a good opportunity of trade, given that you have all those things falling in line. Very thin volume, markets gradually pulling down into the area could get you some rotations right at that level. Low volume nodes coming in right at the bottom. Value area low, given that value area low is usually the edge of markets. So if that's the edge of markets, it's the best opportunity for you to look to trade. S1 coming in right around 68, actually 67.5. So that could even be one of your qualifiers if you're looking for something like that, and a target to move right back up into that pivot right there, or even as high as 76.9 right there on that point of control. So that's what we're looking for so far, guys. Let's move over into oil, give you guys some trade ideas too. You guys can see we're in a sideways motion on oil. We had a gap down and we moved right back in here, 50-40. So we're going to play this range here tonight. If we get the opportunity, we're going to look for what they call a, what I like to call a rectangle top, rectangle bottom range of motion. So what we're looking for is oil to come right back into this 50-40. If I were to zoom out of this chart, you can see we're in a downtrend, pretty decent sized downtrend. So that's kind of what we're looking at right there. But zooming in on this longer term chart, you guys can see some strong levels of resistance coming in at 50-40, and then a strong level of support coming in at about 49-40. So we're coming into this level right here, 1, 2. So what we want to see is the markets to gradually climb into that level, struggle to break above it. If you get 2 opportunities or 2 rotations, maybe even 3 rotations, and it can't break above that level, then we'll look to short that back down into support. If it does break above that level, you're probably going to look for something off of that level to buy a dip to go higher. We highlighted that area above right at 51.04, so that's kind of what we're looking for right now, or during the London session, actually, excuse me, is what we're going to be looking for. So if the market does something like this, guys, if we, let me just delete this off for you guys. If the market does something like this and breaks up, what I really want to see for me to go long is for an opportunity for it to break with some actual strength, and then come back and use this level as support. Now, if it can use the level as support and it tries once, twice, and it looks something like that, then I'm going to look for an opportunity long into about 51 even. So that's what we're looking for right now. Again, some strong level of resistance up above at 51 even. But we need to let this play out. Price action needs to play out. We need to watch for some rotations, whether it be to short that back down, to sell some rips, meaning we want to see the market rip lower, or at least get to the bottom of that support, or we can look for some long opportunities as long as our resistance is broken and then use as some support. So that's what we're looking at on the bigger term chart. Let's take a look closer to see what we might have a little bit closer on this S&P 500. So zooming out of here, guys, just to go ahead and cover it with you guys. You guys can see we have a little bit of a stronger level or a closer level coming in right now where we're at. We were at about 50.20, right? So like we said before, market gradually pulling down into 50.10. This is last night's levels, but we broke those levels. So you guys can see during the London session, we actually got those pull downs into the levels we were looking for, and we broke those levels. So 50.10 more than likely is probably going to act as a level of support. Now, if we can act in this area as a level of support for some rotations, 50.10 with some rotations, this is going to be maybe a really good opportunity of trade. So we'll let it pull down a little bit, come back up. If we can hold this area right here for some rotations and we can't break lower, we're going to look for an upside move. So it's going to hold this like this, and then we're going to look for that upside move back into the 40s. So again, that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Again, we were looking at that longer term chart, and that's kind of where we're at. So if we're looking at a closer view, this is what we're looking for. Some rotations to hold this level and then a push to gradually climb into 50.40. So if you want to take maybe 10-20 cents off of this move, this could be your opportunity, but you got to wait for some rotations right in this area. I got movement right around 50. I think it's this candle right here moving, but right around 50.10, 50.11 with some movement. So again, wait for some rotations. This could gradually pull back into this level. Even if it pulled into this level, guys, give you some insight on this. Even if it pulled right into this level and then came right back up and then use this area as support, it still would be a good opportunity for a long, right? So we can try to wait out for those. We'll just let this thing rotate. If we can get some opportunities there, we'll look to trade. Unhide the studies. This is kind of what we're looking at right now. If it wants to go up, moving averages will slowly grind underneath or gradually pull underneath and then move this thing on its way back up. Yeah, so we have some closer levels with the previous day highs and everything, but I would say look for some rotations for support. You can try to take a long from there. If not, then you can maybe look for some opportunity to pull that thing back down. But given that we have stronger levels of resistance coming in, and we're above this gap here, right here, this is the area that we're actually looking to see. So again, if we can hold it, we can look for that upside back into resistance again. And then if we can't break that, downside movement is where we're at. So that is going to be our trade ideas for the London session. I will post the video up later on after we go through the session, see if we can get the opportunities to trade any of these levels here. If we can, I'll show you guys the results of the trades. But thank you again. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys like this here, hit the like button, subscribe. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us at Trade Pro Academy. You can contact me at David at Trade Pro Academy, or you can just go directly into Trade Pro Academy site. If you guys want to learn how to trade, that's where we are. You guys take care, guys.